Hey guys, Marissa here, and welcome to the very first day of Vlogmas 2018. So excited! Now, I've done some version of Vlogmas every year for the past 3 years. I believe last year I did a more heavy Vlogmas, and then this year I'm going to be doing something a little bit closer to the kind of traditional booktube spin on Vlogmas. What that basically means is I'm going to be focusing more on sit-down content videos that I can pre-film and put up for you guys. I will still have some vlog content in there because I know some of you really like that and you actually requested it, so there will be a few vlogs. There will be some non-bookish things, there will be lots of bookish things, and it's generally going to be a bit of a mishmash because I decided to do this really late, and so I don't even know where this is going yet. Today's video might actually be the most exciting video of all of Vlogmas, at least it's the one I'm most excited about, and that is because I am sharing with you guys my bookshelf tour. So I have lived in this apartment for almost 2 years now, and when I first moved in, there were 3 pieces of furniture that I actually needed to buy and was able to buy. One was a couch, one was a desk, and the other was this shelf right here. Then this year for my birthday, I got this bookshelf over here for my brother, and I was really excited about it because, like I said, I've been living here for almost 2 years and I still had boxes of books in the living room. I had books stacked everywhere. I still had books in my parents' house. So I have now been able to bring all of the books that I want to keep over here. Others I have gotten rid of and donated. And basically when I give you the tour today, these are all of the books that I own, minus of course like the ebooks and the audiobooks. Now this is very much just a bookshelf tour. I'm not going to be showing you my entire collection in that I pull out each book because we would be here forever. Also, I have so many unread books on my shelves that I just feel like that wouldn't be a very useful video for you guys because I would like to, you know, only talk about books that I have informed opinions on. But I will be going shelf by shelf, and if you want to see exactly how many books I have, or if you want to look at individual titles, feel free to pause the video and just jot down what I have on the shelves if something looks interesting. And I think that's enough rambling, so without further ado, let's get into the tour. Okay guys, we are going to do this voiceover style now that I have a microphone. So I have my main bookshelves here in my living room. They are in the front corner. It makes the whole room cozier, and this is what they look like when the Christmas lights are on. So yes, I will probably continue to decorate these as Vlogmas continues. Starting off here on the top shelf of the new shelf, these are all of the children's books that I have decided to hang on to, and if you have not seen that video, I actually go through pretty much all of these and talk about my reading habits as a kid, so I will link that video in the cards and in the description box below. Then down here I now have a whole shelf for my Penguin Black Spine Classics collection, which makes me so very happy. They look fantastic next to each other, and they are paired with some antiquity books and more children's classics behind Cranford. This is a shelf that I would definitely like to expand on. I've got mysteries on the left and a few romance books on the right. I think I can definitely do more here. And then down on this shelf I have my poetry collection, my very small poetry collection on the left-hand side, some small classics in the middle, and then my short story collections on the right-hand side. You might notice that I try to roughly categorize by genre or theme. Speaking of genre or theme, this is the beginning of my small fantasy / middle grade section. As you can see here, I've got some Keith Johnson, some Grimm's fairy tales, a little bit of Rick Riordan, Hunger Games, that sort of thing. Also, So You Want to Be a Wizard. Did anybody else read that series when they were a kid? I loved that. Also, down on this shelf is more fantasy and middle grade. I've got my Cornelia Funk books, Peter and the Starcatchers series, which I have to finish reading, the one and only Ranger's Apprentice by John Flanagan, and then off on the left-hand side there, I've got some of those bigger children's collection books like my Madeline and Beatrix Potter collection. Up here on the top shelf, I've got more of my classics. These were there already, and I've just kind of reorganized them slightly, and then this shelf right here is my primary nonfiction shelf. Over on the left hand side, that's primarily memoirs, and then over on the right hand side, it's a little bit more mishmashy. I listen to most of my memoirs on audiobook though, so this isn't a true representation of my audiobook or of my memoir reading. Now this is one of my literary fiction shelves. This is kind of general literary fiction or general fiction. It's actually, now that I'm looking at it, roughly categorized by color. I used to alphabetize, but I'm not doing that anymore. This shelf is definitely more thematic because it is all of my literary fiction by authors of color that write in English. So we've got some Jhumpa Lahiri, some Kazuo Ishiguro, Madeline Tien, Junot Diaz, that sort of thing. Probably my favorite shelf on the bookshelf. I think it just looks really great, and all the colors for some reason go together superbly well. And then this shelf is kind of a combination again. Over on the left hand side I have my translated fiction, of which I thought I owned a lot more, but apparently I don't actually. And then over on the right hand side I have my very small historical fiction section, which again, hoping to expand, and luckily, as you can see, I have quite a bit of room where I could add books there, so I'm looking forward to doing that. Now on this next shelf, you'll notice I have quite a big magazine collection. Those are all of my New Yorker issues from like 2016 going into 2017. So obviously I decided to hang on to those given the weird political climate at the time. I just thought they would be an interesting keepsake, so I'm holding on to those. But then the majority of the books on this shelf are kind of non-memoir nonfiction books. Some of them are reference style, so I've got an intro to the Bible next to an intro to Islam book. I've got a book on architecture, a book on Japanese architecture, art history, couple kanji dictionaries, couple World War II, feministy related history books, and then I've got my graphic novels and Miyazaki books over on the side. Then over here, these are technically not on the shelf, I realize, but they are big books that I thought might break a shelf if I put them on there. So they live here. I've got a couple sign language books, that I used when I was studying sign language in college, and then I also keep things like current library books. So right now I've got The Fall of Gondolin by J.R.R. Tolkien down here. I've got a very massive English literature anthology from Norton Criticals. This one is actually so very heavy, you guys, that this one I really did think might break a shelf if I put it on it, even if it was the bottom. I mean, look at that. It's you could kill someone with that. It's a brick. This one is a Batman comics collection, which I stole from my parents' house because realistically I was the only one who was reading it. They are so very old school, and again, really heavy book, but they're so old school, they're so fun, and this is something I really like flipping through just every once in a while when I'm just chilling and hanging out and don't feel like reading a quote-unquote real book. And then we are really testing my arm strength here, you guys, because this is a complete collection of Shakespeare's works, which I won in high school for essentially being the biggest English nerd in my graduating class. I'm sure that's really not a surprise to any of you. Then I also have this smaller bookshelf in my bedroom where I keep a few kind of childhood book collections. These are all of my Star Wars books, mainly by Jude Watson. They are not canon anymore, but I love them. I still read them, and I like the way they look all here on my shelves all together. And then I have my remaining manga collection here as well. I unfortunately sold a few of the iShield 21 volumes, but I've got that stacked there. I've got some Naruto copies, and then I also have my Yu-Gi-Oh volumes, which are odd volumes, but they are the ones I grew up reading and the ones that I love. Alright, you guys, so that was my bookshelf tour, and I hope you enjoyed it. Obviously, I'm very excited to have another shelf here. I think it really changes actually the whole character of my living room. It feels cozier. It makes me more inspired to read the books that I own as well, because I can actually see them all out displayed nicely. If you guys saw any books in particular that you are interested in hearing me talk more about, feel free to let me know and comment down below. Also, if you just saw like a category of book that you hadn't thought of on my shelf and you want me to do a video on that, I can totally do that as well. So consider this your blank idea canvas and let me know if there's anything you want me to film for you guys, either towards the end of Vlogmas or going into the new year. But other than that, I'm gonna wrap it up here. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this first Vlogmas video, and I will see you next time. Bye!